Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/Entitled Parents. In today's episode, you're my child, I have the right to poison you. Entitled father wants me to pay the electric bill but also control the electricity I use. Is my mom in the wrong? Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. You're my child, I have the right to poison you. I'm allergic to fish/seafood. It's not the anaphylactic type of allergy, thank goodness, so I'm not going to die if I eat some, but I do throw up, have a stomachache and a massive headache for a few hours. Enough fish/seafood and I break out in small red hives over my arms. My mother didn't believe it, and as a child, I couldn't stand up to her properly. She'd force me to eat stuff with seafood or fish in it to prove I wasn't allergic, then ignore me as I was sick. One day, she held a dinner party. I was dressed up beautifully and trotted out to parade before the guests. At the time, I was around about 9, precocious for my age and absolutely fed up with my mother making me sick. When she held out a fish cutlet, fish cooked with vegetables, rolled into a ball, covered in batter and fried, for me to eat, I saw my chance. Me, loudly, I can't eat that, I'm allergic to fish. Mother, no, you're not. Eat it. Me, I am allergic. I'll throw up. No Asian mother will back down in front of guests for fear of looking like she can't discipline her child. My mother grabbed the fish cutlet, shoved it to my mouth, and said, in her most firm voice of command, "Eat." So I ate it. Cut to about 10 minutes later. I go up to my mother and tug on her sari to get attention. Me, I don't feel well, barf. I vomited on her, on the expensive carpet and in full view of all the guests. My mother has a reputation for being a kind, generous, charitable and very religious woman, so in front of all the guests, she couldn't do anything except act sympathetic and send me off to bed to recover. She never made me eat fish or seafood again. She got what was coming to her. I don't understand why people can't wrap their head around others having allergies. My mom forgets and refuses to accept that I have a fruit allergy every time I'm visiting. Every time. Even my mother-in-law makes exceptions for me by not mixing fruit into food and leaving it in a bowl for others to mix themselves. Well, she did learn her lesson. At the cost of a dress and a carpet. But worth it to OP, I guess. I'm lactose intolerant. My grandma refused to believe it was a real condition and forced me to drink milk as a kid. I'd get horrible stomachaches, lot of gas, etc. She'd then blame whatever she thought was causing it, candy, computer games, and just kept repeating how I have to drink it so my bones grow properly. It's like there weren't any other ways to get calcium than an overdose of milk. I am Indian and I get this. Somehow Asian parents think as soon as they push a baby out of them, they have the right to use it as a personal punching bag and play doh, completely forgetting that it's a separate human being with her own thoughts and feelings. I go through the same at my home. And God forbid, if you try to make sense and relent, they throw the classic, "I gave birth to you, I feed and clothe you." Well, Rushmi, you knew what was going to be at stake when you decided to bang and get pregnant. I didn't write you an application of appeal. Entitled father wants me to pay the electric bill but also control the electricity I use. I unfortunately had to move back home with my dad, long story. His home has solar and he pays about $89 a month for the panels but considers it a bill that should be shared, and since he pays for it, he feels entitled to control my electricity usage. I tried to keep my usage to a reasonable level, or what I perceived was a level he felt reasonable. I sometimes sat in my room in the dark during peak hours, or I kept the air conditioning at around 80 F. Eventually a panel stopped functioning and he didn't keep track of each panel's output. Long story short, it resulted in a $500 electricity bill at the end of the year. Before he made the discovery, he continually yelled at me and blamed me for energy consumption because he noticed the monthly electricity bill started to add up since the panels weren't producing enough energy to keep up. He just assumed I was using a lot of electricity while he was at work and didn't even bother to check to see if the panels were functioning. I do use most of the energy, I'm home a lot more than he is, so I agreed to pay for that bill. I figured that would stop his constant complaining, but it didn't. He finally decided to check out the panel's output and saw that a panel was down, which contributed to that $500 bill. I kept my mouth shut to keep the peace, but I was fuming on the inside. The following year, again, he says he sees the bill rising and that it isn't due to a broken panel, so I told him not to worry and just give me the bill when it arrives. I figured that would be the end of it, since he knows he won't be responsible for any balance at the end of the year. I was wrong. He still feels entitled to control whatever electricity I use. I do pay him rent on top of the electricity bill, so I don't see what the issue is. He says since he pays that $89 a month for the panels that he can control my electricity usage because he thinks he's being nice by not asking me to pay half. I was looking forward to decorating outside for Halloween and giving out candy. I decorated last Halloween and dressed up to give candy out. The kids absolutely loved it, and it made me feel it was all worth the effort. He said no because of the electricity usage. Keep in mind most of my decorations use batteries or are solar powered. The only energy consumption is with the LED rope lights I put on the ground to light up the walkway. Halloween is my favorite holiday, and once again he takes the opportunity to crush my spirit. I have so many similar stories. This is just a small example of his controlling behavior. I'd pay half the bill at $44.50 a month and tell him you never want to hear the words electricity or electrical come out of his mouth again. Cheap price to pay for peace and quiet. Fair point. I'm sure if I'd offer to pay half he'd decline so that he could use it as an excuse to complain, and if I called him on it, it would just result in him scolding me for an hour about how he's right and I'm wrong. I'm treated as second class because I'm living in his home. My other siblings come by and he's all smiles and laughs and loves to talk bad about me to them. I guess I'm just venting because I don't have anyone else I can talk to about it. If he bought the panels, then you can just pay to replace the broken one. If he has a lease agreement, then the company is responsible and should fix it for free. There are devices which show what circuits and appliances use. The big energy hogs are usually the big appliances. Is my mom in the wrong? So today she got her Shine package and she ordered a robe for me. I said thank you, but then she asked to take pictures for review points, and I said okay, since saying no didn't seem like an option. Keep in mind I'm very insecure of my face being online, or people I know finding a photo of me anywhere. She takes 3 pictures, and for some of them she asks me to cover my eyes with the robe's hood, but not the rest of my face, so obviously I asked her if she could just doodle black over my face before she posted it. She called me dramatic and kept saying okay whatever even when I was insisting. Eventually she got mad and said that she's not even posting them now and started saying things around the lines of me ruining things. At some point I said I'm just stating how I feel about it, and if I happened to go on the website and saw the review with my face in it, then that would get me upset with you and make me uncomfortable. It's just what I want. And then she said, why do you think I care about your feelings, or something like that, and I was taken aback. I replied, because you're my mom and you should care about your child's feelings, but if you don't then maybe you're not even a mom. And then she said maybe I'm not. I just don't get how covering my face would hurt her review points in any way. If she posted 3 black pictures, they'd still give her points. Another thing, she also got me sandals, but I've never worn sandals. She asked me to try them on and I did. Then I asked where would I wear these, and she said do you like them or not, and I said no because I'd rather return something than take it and keep it in my closet. Then she said something like whoever gets you anything is wrong/guilty or something along those lines. Ick the translation. What do you guys think? Ask mom if she purchased some see-through underwear and asked you to take pictures of her in it, would she want them posted on a website for all to see or not? Not sure if there is more to this, but mom seems a little on the crazy side. Your mom sucks. She's trying to gaslight you big time. If she just wanted a model for a product review she should have said so. That way you could cover your face for the robe shot or volunteer to take the photo of her in the merchandise. A good mom wouldn't want you to show your face in a random review, and she would know that you don't wear sandals. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.